Hello, everyone. We are doing the Belle portion of the Beauty and the Beast video game duology of sorts.
Yes.
Pedro was the one who recorded this, but I thought it was only fitting that I do the intro because the game was not marketed for him, but he chose to play it anyway.
Yes.
I don't understand,
Oh my God,
enjoying things that aren't made for you.
Yeah, I don't get this, Pedro. Why are you posting a game for girls?
I'm a rebel too. What can I tell you?
You know, I don't know if this is better or worse than that Miss Monopoly game.
Okay, so welcome to Belle's
I'll tell you
Quest.
more about that later, but for now, holy cow, different art style. What the hell?
Yes, Belle's Quest is the other half, kind of, maybe. No, I guess, like, it would be so great if some of the developers could talk about what happened behind the scenes, but let's just start normally. Alright, so the first thing that's already... Oh, okay. Belle loves France, with its wondrous mountains and rolling rivers. This is another thing you can tell it's made by the same team. It has the same cutscenes. But she longs for more than the provincial life, of course, of the village. There has to be more than this provincial life.
From the first game.
Only
the Beast game.
Only her love for her father and the magical world of books keeps her content.
Ha! That's surprising for a Disney princess.
Belle makes frequent trips to the village and always stops at her favorite place. The bookshop.
Actually, it was the library.
Semantics.
Anyway.
It's called a library.
So that's your first line.
Alright, so the first thing that I will like a lot more about the Belle's Quest over Roar of the Beast is that
birds can hurt you.
Yes, birds are out to kill Belle in this game, by the way.
That's sacrilegious. She's a Disney princess. They should love her.
But anyway, also Belle can jump to 10 feet into the air.
Looks like a duck every time she jumps.
So one thing that I love about this game more than the Roar of the Beast is there's music from the movie, and it has a really good rendition of Belle. Hey, LeFou. Go ahead, Liz.
Hey, Gaston! There she is!
Oh boy. There you are, Belle!
Also, an NPC is blocking your visual.
And here I go! Bye! What should I say? Au revoir!
Alright then. Bye, Gaston.
Okay, that was funny.
It was, like, this is actually, unlike the previous game, this one has the graduate too.
Look, the fountain is dry!
Oh no!
Oh.
Thanks, Baker.
And the birds are out to kill people more often than usual.
Hey, Gaston!
Oh my god, is this like Baldi's Basic?
Listen, Belle, I've been thinking.
Gaston, what a pleasant surprise!
Yes, I'm just full of surprises, aren't I? Anyway, I've been thinking that you might think too much. Next, you'll start getting ideas. Well, it's just not healthy. Just take my advice and marry me while you can.
You're right, Gaston. Thinking is out. And marrying you? Oh, I wouldn't give that a second thought either.
Also, what do you mean? You only like her.
Damn, like Belle. Oh, Belle's firing off.
See how easy that was? Huh? Hey, wait a minute, Belle.
Also spacey.
Bye!
Again.
Also, a lot of sheep.
I'll stop stalking me or I'll call the police.
Isn't this amazing? Yeah, I actually really love this rendition of Belle.
Even with the Genesis twang.
What, her dialogue or the look?
How about both?
Oh my god, it really is like Baldi's Basic where you're constantly stalked.
Yes, basically they're constantly stalking us. Belle, you're the luckiest girl in the whole world. Line like the chicken from the movie.
I am? Why is that?
I'll tell you. Because you get to marry me. That's why.
I still don't see what's so lucky about it.
I do?
Yes, and I'll even make it official. Belle, will you marry me?
No, I couldn't. I just don't deserve you. Seriously, I have way too much karma for that.
Me too.
Oh, sure. This is rock soleil sedans.
That's foreshadowing for later, actually.
What's it going to be a rock slide
Okay.
in the village?
Bookshop. Alright,
Finally.
Hi, hello, Belle. Also, my mouth can... Go ahead,
That
sorry.
sure is a beautiful looking storybook in your front window.
It is. I've been saving that one for you, Belle. But I was wondering if you could do me a favor first.
Of course.
After all, we need to...
customer, not your employee.
After all, we need to elongate the gameplay time. Otherwise, we'll be too short.
Well, I'd be happy to. I'm surprised at how much dialogue there is in a Disney-based game.
Well, I need someone to catalog all of these. Well, Jove, according to marketing, girls like story in their games a lot more than us. We just want to punch things.
Uh-huh.
Was this done by that Mr. Game guy from
I remember that
Dungeons
part in
and
the
Bolts?
movie where there was a bunch of books falling on Belle's head and she has to pick them up.
Yes, this is a mini game.
Also, they're so completely out of order when it comes to coloring. It's so distracting.
So
Sorry.
sorry.
See, there's a bit of a pattern, Tio. Two red,
Sora
one
would
yellow,
not
two
disagree,
green.
Java. Remember, it's your specific purpose to put them in the exact color.
So sure, what do you
yes,
so sure, what do you think? Is this game doing a better job appealing to you, since that was the whole point?
No, not really.
Oh, really?
Gaston is so dreamy.
Yeah.
Well, since there's three of them, I figured we'd...
Oh, okay. Any particular? Oh, you're not liking the more cutscene heavy start so far?
Ah, what a pain in the neck.
Ha 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 ha.
Funny.
I mean, I guess little me would probably like this since I also had that Mulan game that was basically a
one on the
point and click
PlayStation.
thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Ow.
So what if?
But the birds here.
Well, okay. What does adult you think so far?
It's fine, I guess.
Okay. Well, I actually do like the
Oh, Jesus, quicksand.
Yes, I actually do.
Oh god.
I actually really like this opening a lot better because the writing is actually really solid. So.
I mean,
It's
it's pretty funny so far, I guess.
At least we're trying to actually replicate what was happening in the movie. Roar Beast is just like...
So yeah, here's what happened. There's a boulder in our path, and for some reason, even though Belle can jump high enough, she can't get over that.
Go around it. Push it
Like,
out of the way.
The chosen instead understand your struggles, Belle, don't worry.
Like I said,
Because it's a large boulder the size of a small boulder.
like I said, Jova, this game, unlike Roar of the Beast, is more puzzle heavy. So we have to resort on some kind of put-and-click logic of help, getting an NPC to help us, maybe. I wonder who could help. Guys, I wonder who could help us get that boulder out of the way.
The guy who will be the final boss in the end, I wonder?
Of the Roar of the Beast game? Sure.
Zaldin hasn't shown up yet.
Alright, so basically, in order to avoid LeFou from, interrupting you, you need to hide on the back of those doors in the background. You can press up to go to them.
So it doubles as a stealth game.
Yes. It's like, basically, Shiroi, you get all of the non-actionly elements, whereas we guys get only the action, but you get everything else. Basically, you get the stealth, you get the talk, the cutscenes.
It certainly is
Yeah,
quite a bit.
because
They
boys apparently have the attention spans of rocks.
Not just that,
Yes!
how they use the font, instead of actually having it in small group, being divided, they just dump you these entire text out of wall text out of nowhere.
Yeah. Basically, what he's saying is he's actually telling you the solution to the forest puzzle later on. Don't worry, I'll talk to him later again, if I remember correctly.
Again, it kind of feels in some ways like an RPG, honestly.
Again, it reminds me more of, stuff like King's Quest, Jova. Again,
Yes.
like Pedro said, traditional point-and-click stuff.
Alright, Oh! Hello, Belle. So what response do I choose, guys?
Go fuck yourself in the ass.
Good day, Gaston.
So, you've come to your senses?
Actually, I was wondering if you could help me with something.
Really? It is my charm. If it isn't my charm you need, my muscle, or both?
Just the muscle, and not in the way you're thinking.
Response.
Oh my god.
So there you go. There's the text adventure elements.
Okay, I get it, but again, these huge amount of text really do ambush you.
You see,
I guess it must be nice to see also the different responses you'll get with each dialogue.
Okay, so there's a huge boulder blocking the stream, or have you...
Especially your fragile ego.
I'm talking about, never mind, it really looks heavy, and I wouldn't want you to bruise anything, especially your fragile ego.
Oh! Thank you for your concern, Belle. But don't worry, nothing could bruise this ego.
Oh
my god.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I don't know, Shiro. So far, I really think you got the better game. So, to be honest,
I have to say, somehow, like Gaston's pixelated face just somehow looks even more smug than it does in the actual movie.
I'm a little boulder. There's nothing I can't move, and I'll prove it to you. Come on.
Especially when it's animated while he's talking. It's just great.
Again, to give this game credit, for a Disney tie-in game of the time, the dialogue seems relatively clever.
Yeah, you can tell the people who made this game genuinely were trying to make it entertaining.
Oh, and off he goes. What the hell? The water just rose
It was
all of a sudden?
a small lake in the background.
It's a perspective thing, I think.
Oh, there's the
guess.
book.
So, how the hell this book got here? I don't know, it's never explained. We needed some kind of objective for Belle to do, okay? Just roll with it.
And again, apparently Gaston just decided to go off into the woods after proving himself.
But yeah, Shiroi, basically, according to Sunsoft... Yeah, according to Sunsoft, Shiroi, you get the game that requires brains, whereas the rest of us, the morons...
Get up and dust yourself off. Game, she apparently drowned. You don't just get up and dust yourself up after drowning.
So basically,
we cannot use the word death.
So to sum up Sunsoft's logic, girls smart, boys dumb. Okay.
Okay, so apparently Belle risks death every time she summons and steps a few feet out of the village.
So it's like Sonic. It's like Sonic in the Rise of Lyric.
So what do you think? What do you think of this entire scenario, Shiroi?
Oh, it's kind of funny so far.
I mean, it's again, I think what helps it the most is the dialogue. I mean, that's not to say that everything else is a slouch, but I'm genuinely surprised at how clever and witty the dialogue is.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
alright, let me read this.
When you get
I was lost in the woods yesterday. I finally got out by traveling north every time I saw a yellow rose, east every time I saw a white rose, and northwest every time I saw a red rose. And I'm sure that's not a solution to an upcoming puzzle or anything. Don't worry about it.
Oh, no.
Absolutely not.
No, we've never.
Seriously, you couldn't... well, whatever. That's it. To finish the first level, you just go back. Just like in the movie.
I mean, I guess... I suppose, to be fair, most Disney games didn't lend themselves to having a lot of dialogue in them, but again, this is not what I was expecting, I'll admit.
Yeah, compare this to...
other Disney, based off of other Disney adaptations of the time that we've looked at.
Yeah, let's use the Toy Story video game as an example, the first one. Dwebs even complained about how John Burton's writing in the cutscenes was quite clunky. And this...
not always matching up.
But in here, it actually works really well. Like, I don't know if there was if they got some actual proper professional writer to write it, but it definitely is a step up from what you'd expect at the time.
Well done, Belle.
Was this game being made alongside the movie, I wonder?
No, it came out 2 years after. Belle returns home to find that her father, Maurice, has left for the fair with his wood chopping invention.
I'll admit the music here is actually pretty good too. It's got more.
Oh, there you go. Reused. There you go. Another picture that was also in War of the Beast, if you remember correctly.
Although Belle's got a bit of a dirt face there.
Yeah, I remember. Wow, you made the exact same comment when you saw this picture in War of the Beast, Jova. Very good. Belle, and there's another picture that's shared by the two games. So yeah, you can tell these two games are two sides of the same coin, basically.
I'm just a bit weirded out by the fact that this game has such a different art style in-game for some odd reason.
But when Philippe is spooked and throws Belle off, she finds herself alone in the interest. I'm guessing each game has its own art director, and both of them had different ideas. I don't know.
I think the best way to describe it is like, well, it feels like this was supposed to be the majority of the game, whereas the beast sections would have been like, you know, those fighting sequences of the game, essentially.
Yeah, I get the feeling both these games would be a lot stronger if they were just made as one game. However, that was probably a bit too ambitious for the time that they had.
Also, Belle decided to take off her cloak and is now venturing within the woods.
Yes, well, we needed some kind of level. So she's exploring the forest, trying to get out of it. We had to, of course, dodge all the bear traps. Go ahead.
Oh, and the boars, and the woods trying to pull a Snow White on her.
I can tell you this, Java, since I checked just now, the team behind the writing credits is the same, identical.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, that's right. There was technically writing in the Beast game.
Well, that's the thing too. Like both games were made by the same studio, Creation Software, I think.
Hey, there's the castle.
Exactly. Basically, those. But yeah. As long as you remember those directions from the guy at the baker, you'll know exactly how to beat this level. It's not hard at all.
And the music was also done by Tony Williams.
That kind of implies that baker knows about the castle.
Belle happens upon a dark and gloomy castle.
As happy music plays in the background.
She knocks on the huge door. When no one answers, she enters.
Again, with happy-go-lucky music going on.
Not just that, look at Belle's derpy face on the top stone of the screen.
God, that makes it look like she wants to do it with Lumiere. Girl, you'll get burned. Don't do that.
Cogsworth and Lumiere introduce themselves, and Belle begins to search the castle. Blah, blah, blah. She is shocked to find that her father has been locked in the dungeon.
So she took the cloak off only to put it back on.
I mean, why not?
Here's another picture that both games share. When a terrible beast appears, she bravely offers to take Maurice's place as his prisoner.
The beast was kind of pissed because he had to fight off Beast in his castle, weirdly enough.
The beast accepts her offer, releasing her father, and imprisoning Belle in the castle.
And then he's off to go beat up some more monsters infiltrating the castle.
The beast forbids his servants to feed Belle if she refuses to dine with him. But they disobey his order and treat Belle as an honored guest.
Did William Shatner wrote the
be
dialogue?
Our guest, put our service to the test.
Oh, we're making a level out of this, and Jesus Christ, nice!
And now we have a minigame level where all the kitchen utensils are out to kill us.
Be our guest! Be our guest! Let us kill you like the rest!
Exactly.
Considering who voices Mrs. Potts, I can see the inspiration from Murder, She Wrote.
Basically, basically if you lose and get hit too much, you'll get either a winning.
Lumiere is doing the Mystic Quest. Hey, come on!
Seriously,
it looks like Lumiere is standing over Belle's blood or something.
We are so sorry, mon chéri, for accidentally killing you.
Clearly. Alright.
I don't think Beast would be too happy if he finds out she was killed on their watch.
You killed her during the music number? For Christ's sakes, can't you do anything
That would be an interesting twist to the formula.
Yeah.
The halfway through
a character that is killed in the middle of a musical number. The closest we got was in Mulan, where they actually did stop when they saw the village.
Yeah, I can imagine it now. Be our guest, be our guest.
So what? Like the minute Belle gets hit too much, this happens.
Yeah, basically. It doesn't really matter though. It still moves on no matter what happens. Belle wants to explore the castle. Cogsworth and Lumiere beg her to obey the beast's order to stay out of the West Wing. Seriously, text.
The TV show?
Not that one. But once they are gone, her curiosity gets the better of her, and she enters the West Wing.
Shatner, please, we need the text right now.
Yes, with guest narrator William Shatner.
Oh, wait, hold on. These look like the same assets from the Beast section, are
Pretty
they?
much.
Very good, Jova. Yes. Okay, so what this translates out to is that we have to find our way to get to the West Wing because this level is a maze. Don't worry, it's not that bad actually. The basic idea is search everywhere for keys, and as long as you have keys, you can open locks. The more locks you open, the more you can explore, and eventually you'll be able to find your way into the West Wing.
I get the feeling there's not going to be as much dialogue for this section, is there?
No. The dialogue is only for the first level. After that, the game goes back into the same kind of pattern as Roar the Beast did.
Oh god,
that's a shame.
The front sprite of Belle looks frightening.
That is kind of a shame, honestly, because the dialogue was really selling me on this game.
Well, I can't at least tell you that unlike the gameplay of the other game, the gameplay of this game is much more well thought out. Like, it's not cheap as fuck like Roar the Beast is. The gameplay is enjoyable enough. Just explore, basically. Again, it's a much more explory type of game.
I guess now's the time for me to elaborate more on that Miss Monopoly game to Tio. Basically, Tio...
I remember the commercials, if that's what you're asking.
Basically, Miss Monopoly is titled as the first ever game where women make more than men.
Oh.
Basically, okay, awesome. You know how the regular game of Monopoly goes, right? Basically, in Miss Monopoly, if you're a girl, you start off with more money than if you're a guy. Also, every time you pass go, you get an extra $40 if you're female. So, essentially, what we have is a game that is pretty much rigged to help women win more.
I mean, I kind of like the idea of Monopoly games that have custom rules, and there are quite plenty of different choices, but a Monopoly Street Fighter of all things.
The problem is that it's blatantly sexist. To the point,
okay. Let's put it even in a more elegant way possible. The message that he wants to try to convey is ham-fisted, and clearly not portrayed like an actual adult would want to talk about.
Not only that, the original Monopoly was made by a woman.
You shouldn't be here, mademoiselle. The master will be very upset.
The original Monopoly did not make distinctions of gender when it comes to income and paying.
It did not. And again, the game can be very condescending. Armored Skeptic's fiance, I forget what his name is.
Seanhead.
Seanhead.
They actually, broke out.
Yeah. Oh, they broke up?
Yes, because pretty much all of the videos that included her, or the reviews we had together, like the stuff that I was referencing in the Star Wars Holiday Special, is being privated or deleted.
That's weird, because the Miss Monopoly video is still up. But
anyway, let me...
I actually have a version of Monopoly where when you go to jail, you actually have to handcuff yourself to the board.
Anyway, Dwebs, you can be Cogsworth.
Remind me again, since I'm not too familiar with the English dub, who did voice him in the original?
I forgot. I know who voiced him in the Portuguese dub, since that's the one I grew up with, but I don't remember the actor.
Okay.
From the English dub. Fun fact, in the English dub, in the Portuguese dub, the guy who voiced Cogsworth was the same guy who voiced Shang from Mulan and the protagonist of Rurouni Kenshin. So,
honestly,
remember, Teo, versatility. That's our specialty. Yes, Sherry.
I mean, honestly, that version of Monopoly is problematic as fuck. But regardless, send it my way, because I never win at Monopoly on my own. I'm not going to cheat.
That's just one more proof of that this capitalism is not suited for you and it's for the bad.
All right. Anyway, I think it's okay. No, not it.
So, sure, is that going to be a target of yours when we go Cardiff then?
What?
Finding that
Monopoly?
board game? Yeah.
So Shiro, if I
I don't have
understand,
enough people to play board games with.
so Shiro,
Well, just to give you an idea of how condescending that game is, one of the community chest quests will literally be, "Oh, you got a new set of high heels, but it doesn't really feel comfortable. Must have been designed by a man."
What the fuck?
Yes, Pedro.
So Shiroi, again, gotta play Sunsoft marketing research guy. So Shiroi,
Yeah,
so
basically, for what I've heard, the biggest problem with Miss Monopoly is that it's got a problem with reverse sexism.
okay,
Please.
that's nice. Can I
Yes,
finish, please?
yes, Pedro.
Thank you.
Sure.
So basically, what you're telling me as the test audience that I'm using you as, our strategy is officially a failure. This does not appeal to the female audience.
Belle, it's just the West Wing. You don't need to jump out on balconies where you can easily fall to your death just to
this
see a
turned
room
into-
you're not
this
even
turned-
supposed to go to.
This turned
It's
into
like,
Crash
if it
Bandicoot
interests me, it
real
interests me. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's just a
not a
temporary
person.
setback. She died.
So apparently, in this universe, death is just a minor inconvenience.
I love that.
Wait, hold on. But Dubs, going off of that means that Belle managed to survive something that Gaston died from. So does this mean that Belle is
Here's what you need to
more of a
do.
Chad than
You
Gaston
need to
is?
jump at the very last pixel of that result in order to make it. It's quite the tight jump to make.
If I do have one complaint, Belle's speed is a little too slow to the point where, you've got to time stuff extremely well with that.
Even the jump is very stiff. Reminds me of
And we've arrived at the West Wing.
Seriously,
Sorry.
Belle,
Sorry.
Belle literally risked life and limb
And,
just to get to this place.
and guess what? We also got the magic mirror, and the magic mirror serves as your compass, meaning it's always pointing with an arrow to where you're supposed to go.
That's
You
an interesting way to
that-
integrate it.
That thieving bitch.
Also, my
Beast
my
hasn't
mistake.
given it to her yet. She stole it.
Also, my mistake. I wanted to reference Ghost and Goblins. My bad.
Seriously, damn, Belle. So you risk life and limb. Wait, hold on. Why are you exiting?
Because that's
That's
the
always indicating
the mirror told me to go this way, Jova.
Remember, Jova, the mirror never lies, according to Donkey Kong.
Fuck.
Oh, look, you followed the mirror. Now you're dead. But seriously though,
Maybe the mirror was trying to kill her.
you gotta love how Bella's doing all this stuff just to get into a room she was told not to. Like, I mean,
Tail, I think this is what the blue-bearded guy should have done in his story. Put the room all across an incredibly challenging platforming section. That way,
Basically, Jova, let me sum it up. It's
Bluebeard the pirate.
no, not that
really
one.
A pirate, but it's still a guy called Bluebeard. Essentially, it's a guy who marries this beautiful girl, and he tells her. You're close enough. He tells her to not go in a specific room, which has a particular key, but he even leaves, in point, and he says, "If you go there, I will notice that." She actually disobeys, opens the doors, and discovers the corpses of all the mysterious wives because this guy is a mass murderer. Accidentally, she drops the key into a pool of blood, and she cannot actually, clean it up properly. And when the guy returns, he actually tries to kill her. She manages to outsmart him and kill him instead.
Basically, the idea is that the guy wants a wife that never lies to him, never deceives him, and stuff like that. So he always tests every one of his wives. Here, you can go into every room in my mansion except this one. Here's the key for it. So basically, he's always testing whether or not the wife will give to the temptation, and if she
Clearly,
get.
he never heard of divorce.
Well, that's the thing, Jello. Remember, these old fairy tales were written in a much more primitive time in our species.
Well, if I recall, there was a modern for the time, a modern
Hold on, we're done.
interpretation movie. Sorry. Oh,
There-
there's the
there-
rose.
there's the rose.
There's the rose. There, I've risked life and limb just to see this rose.
Well done.
This better be fucking worth it. Okay, so let's see what happens. Finding Belle in the west wing, the beast flies into a furious rage.
What? As opposed to the tranquil rage.
Frightened, Belle breaks her promise, fleeing the castle and riding Philippe into the forbidding woods.
What do you mean forbidden?
Well, that works too. Belle is trapped by hungry wolves, but the beast comes to her rescue, as we saw in War of the Beast, risking his life for the sake of hers. So there you go. Basically, like I said, both games are from the movie from both perspectives separately.
Where's the super cut?
And suddenly we skip to this?
Yes. And look at this, Wiz. Look at that, Wiz. Another mini game where we catch petals falling from the ceiling.
Is Stitch actually the one throwing them down?
Maybe. Probably.
Okay, so kind of a massive skip, honestly. Like, I mean, I'm surprised they didn't make a level out of Belle going through Beast's library or something.
No, if it helps.
I'm beginning to think that maybe, just maybe, there wasn't really enough content in Beauty and the Beast to make to be able to make a game out of it without taking these huge leaps in logic.
That's the thing. Well, to JavaScript,
the tempo details all
yeah,
the time. This feels like the metal ballad version of it.
To Java's credit, that's the thing, Dwebs. This game doesn't even have a mini game based on the snowball throwing scene, which the Super Nintendo game does have. It is weird that they wouldn't at the very least have that, because that could have easily been turned into a mini game like they did for the Super Nintendo, like the Super Nintendo developers did.
I'd say there definitely is enough content from the movie to make a game out of it. And let's not forget, Dwebs, even without that, the Beast Roar actually created new events just to add on stuff here and there, so...
Not to mention
it feels weird that all of a sudden, like, okay, here's something. With Belle's side of a story, it felt like for the most part we were going for the motion story-wise, but then we suddenly skipped to them dancing. We don't even mention how they were getting along or whatnot.
I'm guessing they're just thinking, you saw the movie, didn't you? Basically. Belle and the Beast dance in the castle's elegant ballroom. When the Beast lets Belle look into his magic mirror... That too, yes, she sees her weak father, lost in the woods.
That look says more like she dropped her wallet.
She somehow managed to avoid the wolves, however.
So that's where the keys went.
Oh, right!
That's because they're plot convenience wolves, Shiri.
I was wondering where I dropped my permit.
This is still from the movie. Though it breaks his heart, the Beast allows Belle to go to her father's aid. Sorry, my video skipped a frame for some reason.
Huh. Okay.
Belle finds Maurice and takes him home to the comfort of a warm fire. I could have said their house, but I figured I would be poetic about it. I don't know. Gaston, and here's another common screenshot. Gaston has been stirring up the villagers against Maurice. When they learn that the beast is real, the angry mob starts off for the castle. And now we have the final level of the game, which I'll wait till the cutscene is over. Gaston locks Belle and Maurice in the woods shed, but stowaway Chip frees Belle and Maurice using Maurice's wood chopping invention. You saw the movie, didn't you? So yeah. Knowing that the beast is in danger, Belle races towards the castle on Philippe.
Oh no!
And that's
not this kind of level.
Yep, this is where the final level comes in. Belle riding Philippe back to the castle. Here's the
horse riding segment.
That would be nice, Jova. Except Jova, they fucked up practically everything about this level. And as you can see, yes, they're reusing the same assets from the snow level from Lord of the Beast. Okay, here's
might as well.
Well, here's.
You see that the controls kind of suck already.
Thank you, Terry. Yes, I was about to get into that. Here's the problem. Every time you jump, Jova, you cannot control yourself during your jump.
Oh my god, it really is like Ghosts and Goblins.
And keep in mind, Jova, you have to make jumps of different lengths in order to get through the various different precipices. Meaning, you have to always know in advance how. Meaning, and here's another thing. When the moment you fall into one of those platforms, you're pretty much dead. No, don't even bother. Basically, Jova, here's the only way to properly beat this level fair. Play the level over and over and over and over and over and over until you know exactly how long every single jump is, so you know exactly when to accelerate and when to not accelerate, so you can have a jump. So you can have a jump that's the exact right length, so that you'll be able to go through it, but at the same time you don't overshoot it, so that you'll fall on the other following bottomless pit. No, it is not.
It's basically Turbo Tunnel from Battletoads.
Honestly, not only is it not fair, it doesn't even have the realism excuse to fall back on, because that's not even how momentum works in real life.
Also, the game's just gonna tell you to walk it off.
Yeah, see, did you notice that one where I just fall right now? I was supposed to run the fuck forward to make that jump, but again, what you're seeing right now is me. What you're seeing right now is basically my blind playthrough, where I have infinite lives, fortunately, so I can keep retrying over and over.
I'm sorry, Belle. Your quest has come to an end.
Normally I would cut away all my failures. However, I wanted to properly showcase what I mean with the footage. Basically.
Oh no, by all means.
No, don't worry. As you see for the timer, we're almost done. The point is, the only way you're going to be able. I also have a moon jump. I also have a moon jump. That's the thing, Jova. I activated the moon jump cheat. Problem is, the moon jump cheat breaks the sound of the game.
Also, might as well comment on it, but the music sounded very upbeat given, what's going on at this point. Wait, you have a double... Oh, right, yeah, their moon jump thing.
It's like Robot Unicorn Attack now.
That's the thing, Jova. That's the thing, Jova. The only way to complete this level without failure is to know the level by heart. Literally.
Okay,
the first time you play for this level, you're gonna die a lot. Yes, Jova?
Okay. Better or worse than the Flamingo stage in Lion King?
No, this is far worse, Jova. Say what you want about the Flamingo stage, but at the very least in the Mega Drive version, you can, at the very least, have a basic idea of where you're supposed to dodge. This, on the other hand, no, trust me, this requires a lot more trial and error than the Flamingo stage. The problem with the Flamingo stage is just the poor hit detection. That's it. This is way worse than that. The jump. Trust me, Jova. The problem with path controls is that it's hard to explain. But trust me, when you jump in this level, you know exactly what I mean. You can't control yourself mid-air, meaning you have to pray and hope your jump will work. Basically, you can't steer yourself. Moving on.
The final level.
Yes, Belle reaches out to the.
Don't you see, Pedro? That level was the final boss.
Ugh. It's just a shame because the game has been solid up until this point. Not flawless, but solid enough. But that final level, ugh. But Gaston thrusts the knife into the unsuspecting beast. Belle hovers over the fallen beast and proclaims her love for him. With this still from the movie right here.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like Dolly on that still.
Belle's love for the beast breaks the curse, and he is magically transformed into his
God, he's hideous!
Human form. In love, Belle...
He really does look better as the beast,
In love, Belle and her human prince dance together and live happily ever after. That's the thing, Sheila. If we let them as the beast, it would be technically bestiality, so we can't have that.
And we
have this minigame. Sure. Although Belle looks nothing. Jesus Christ.
All right, so this is we end with a redo of this mini game, except this time the beast is human.
Yay!
Belle, I got an idea. We'll spin around endlessly and try and collect petals, and try not to get dizzy.
Now, how about a sequel? Something involving Christmas.
That's an interquel.
That's
that's
that's technically an interquel, yeah.
Well, technically going off of the end of the movie, it's
and even the star,
technically...
technically, because it's a story that is framed. Fuck.
Yeah, so technically it is a sequel chronologically, because it's a story about what happened during Christmas in the castle, being told after the events of the story. Checkmate, atheists. Oh, God.
But what I was saying before...
And, well, you know what? Still better than Belle's magical wonder something world.
Well, remember, Jova, that was supposed to be a TV series that never got aired, so they stitched together.
I'm sure Disney will never repeat that.
And then they added
Cinderella 2.
And then they added more episodes in like some other special edition release or something.
Did they?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a thing.
All right. Anyway, well done, Belle.
You have won.
Wow,
Yes.
that's literally that.
And
You're
there-
a winner.
And there you go. In the credits, it's the exact same team even. So, and they even have the exact same pictures in the credits as Roar the Beast has. In fact, I keep saying that, but this game came out before Roar the Beast. Okay, so that was Beauty and the Beast, Belle's Quest. We are officially done with the Sunsoft duology. We still have a Super Nintendo game to go through. However, we're done with the Mega Drive duology. Shiroi, since you're the target audience, why don't you start? What are your final thoughts on this game and the overall duology as a whole?
Surprised how much more interesting this is than the other one.
Mm-hmm. Don't you see, Shiro? Don't you see, Shiro? You girls get the more interesting game.
Like, I don't see why this couldn't have been just one whole game aside money and weird marketing reasons.
But Shiro, that way we can sell two halves of the same game for full price.
It was all a part of artistic integrity. Do you honestly think that we split a game into two halves just to make more money?
I absolutely believe that.
Yes, I mean Sega did it with Sonic 3, didn't they? All right, go.
Well, no. With Sonic 3 and Knuckles, that was literally just about of development time, apparently.
Well, okay. Yes, Shiro.
Sonic's been in development hell since the beginning, but anyway. Yeah, the writing was actually really funny at the start. Gameplay's fine, I guess. It has variety. Again, there isn't enough meat to these games that would justify them being sold separately.
No. What about that wonderful final level?
Looks fine, and the music turned out good.
Yeah. It's only a shame that final level really hampers what was an overall solid game, sadly.
What are you talking about, guys? The final level where we danced was A-okay.
Oh, that was fine. I'm okay with that. Okay. It's again, remember.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
horse level.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. I'm okay with them ending with that minigame because it's the ending, okay, and it's a nice, relaxing way of celebrating the end of the story. That's fine by me. I'm okay with the game ending that way.
To give you a break after that goddamn horse level.
Trust me, Jova. Try playing that game fairly, and you'll see exactly what I mean. That.
Oh no! I could tell by watching you.
I mean, even Teo, even before I even say anything, Teo could immediately tell that the controls had a problem. So yeah. Oh. And remember, you're constantly jumping between platforms, and the controls are problematic. That's a recipe for disaster right there. So basically, Shiroi, I have to. Shiroi, would you say the Sunsoft marketing department needs to get a telling off? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
If they're even still a thing.
That being said, Shiroi, you gals did get the better game. So there's that.
I guess.
Yes, because Jova, Dwebs, Teo, Sunsoft screwed us over. They really screwed us
Really
over.
sucks for the guys.
It's not fair.
Yes.
It's not fair.
All right. So basically, overall, Shirley, you didn't like War of the Beast at all, but final level aside, you at the very least enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
Okay then. Jova, what are your thoughts on this game and the duology as a whole?
This game starts off pretty promising with all the dialogue or whatnot. It feels like it could be an RPG. Then it proceeds to not be that. But you know what? Some of the puzzles are still fine. And, it's interesting that the levels aren't just your simple beat-em-ups here and there. Again, I feel like this would have been best packaged with the Beast or, combined into one full game, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like the two different styles could have complemented each other well enough. But that horse level is some horse crap.
Yep.
Like, holy cow. Also, again, I do love the silliness of some of these levels. Yes, Belle, you're willing to kill yourself just to go to a room you're not supposed to go into. And what you get to see is a rose behind a glass case. Are you happy with yourself, Belle? Are you? But yeah, it is weird because, Belle's game does feel like it has the better pacing story-wise. Then all of a sudden we just skip after the waltzing, we skip the montage, which, showed them getting along, and it's like, oh, the Beast just saved her? Well, screw that, I guess she'll give him a dance as a result.
Yeah, after having played the Super Nintendo game, yeah, you could have easily done what that game did and have a mini game with them throwing snowballs at each other. That's like a no-brainer.
I do feel like, I guess it's a tough pick on which one has the better or worse final level, Pedro. A wonky horse fight or that Gaston boss fight?
No, I'm gonna have to give credit to Roar of the Beast. For as bad as the final level in Roar of the Beast was, it was at the very least more bearable. Because trust me, that final level, what you saw was my final cheat-driven run, because I was even trying to do that one fairly before I resorted to cheats. There was a lot of frustration pre-cheats that you didn't see. Trust me.
But it does say something because you had a lot to say about the problems with the Gaston fight.
No, the Gaston fight. Yeah, the Gaston fight was bad, but I don't know. Like, there's just it's just
I'm
because
not even quite sure if I call it completely bad because it does have a lot of character in it. I think the only problem we mainly had was just the fact that he has some BS attacks and the fact that he was a damaged one.
Okay.
But other than that,
let me put it this way: the problem is that the final level of this game, it screws up in literally every major way it can. The controls are terrible. The level design is not really designed around the controls, and as a result, basically, it's one of those cases where you have to know the level by heart entirely, so you can go through it. Otherwise, you'll die. It's that simple.
Yeah, again, okay, neither of these games are completely awful. And you know what? If they got repackaged together, maybe not as a game, but at least as one of those twin packs of games, heck, Disney seemed to have been remastering and bringing back a lot of their old Genesis Day games, so maybe they'll bring it back as that. I wouldn't mind seeing this repackaged. I'd say it's good enough for that. That said, there are definitely some noticeable flaws in both ones here and there. I'm kind of saddened with the Belle one, because the Belle one seemed more promising, but that one level was enough for me to really have to wonder, which do I really think is better, the Belle game or the Beast game? Now, the Belle game, okay, the Belle game may not have the heights of getting to fight, but again, that dialogue in the start was enough that I'm kind of sad we didn't get more dialogue bouts like that. Fighting was actually pretty clever.
Mm-hmm.
After that, though, it's more so your typical go here, point A to point B yourself puzzles. Heck, some levels you go through automatically since, as soon as you die during the Be Our Guest level, the game just progresses like the citizens of the castle did not absolutely murder Belle. Given that they were knives, plates, and freaking forks. Dang. But yeah, overall, it's a fine game. Not a perfect game, and it does have its flaws just like its counterpart. But I could totally see it being brought back.
Mm-hmm. Dwibs, thoughts on the game and the duology as a whole?
The duology, well, both games individually and as a whole aren't really all that interesting, and that's at best. At worst, it's just really frustrating to play for the looks of it.
Mm-hmm.
Coupled with some really bizarre choices for levels, like taking the memorable scene where Belle is suddenly attacked by knives and forks. Seriously, who did that? Did the fairy godmother get pissed at her salary for Cinderella and take it out on Belle?
Yes, why not?
Dwibs, get your Kingdom Hearts stuff out of this game, please.
I don't know, Theo. That sounds like an interesting idea for.
Yeah. Make that an episode of that potential Kingdom Hearts Disney Plus show. Have like some of the characters get pissed for some reason, and then go to another movie and attack the protagonist of it. Like it'll be, the possibilities will be endless. Like we could have Woody going to Winnie the Pooh, and then he throws Pooh's pots of honey at him because apparently Pooh gets more money in spite of that he's. Hey, we're both toys. How come we're both toys, but my film was more successful. How come I don't get paid?
It can become the Disney animation equivalent of Marvel's What If. It's gonna make all the fan fictions canon all at once.
Yeah, we could have all sorts. Like we could have a Kingdom Hearts story that wasn't complicated as hell.
Well, the show is apparently going to be written by Western writers. I don't think you have to worry about that.
Well, we'll see. But yeah, overall, other than those bizarre level tropes, this wasn't really all that interesting, and it's definitely the weakest Disney-based Mega Drive game that I've seen so far.
Yeah, I can understand that. What about you, Theo? What are your overall thoughts on this duology?
Okay, I'm kind of like with Shira. I think these two games should have been just combined into one product.
Pretty much what most of us have been saying.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That honestly, again, out of the two, Belle's Quest seems to be the one that has more polish to it, for lack of a better term. Considering it came out first, I get the idea that Beast Roar was just, taken aback for a second, and then they had to hastily finish it for the finishing line.
Beast Roar literally feels like it's the fill in the blanks counterpart to the.
I generally believe, after seeing both of these in action, that the original product was supposed to be just a unique game, but then Sunsoft got told no, you have to split them in two with this whole marketing about boys and girls. So they remove purposely levels where you have to control the beast and say, okay, we will finish this later. And then after that, they did not have enough time to actually properly finish them, so that's why we got this kind of product. At least that's my theory, a game theory, etc.
That would explain the horse level.
Yeah,
and also the lack of proper
that's also
stuff going on in that final beast level where you're going around and interacting with members of the castle.
Even in general, Belle's Quest starts very strongly with that first level, but very quickly devolves. And it can be very confusing still. So the whole target demographic bullshit takes very little to not stand still. It's more of an obvious thing, of course, but just for observation. Out of the two, like I said, Belle's Quest is probably the better one because, again, just of how polished it is. But the package as a whole feels subpar compared to other adaptations. So, it's an interesting effort, but not enough.
It's interesting you say that. It's interesting you say that, Theo, because I actually find the Super Nintendo game more frustrating to play.
I haven't seen it yet.
No. Don't worry. That's what we're doing next in this marathon anyway. So, as for me, I don't really have anything to add that hasn't been said already. So here's what I will do instead. I want to make an appeal to the ROMhacking.net community. Please, somebody, get these two ROMs and combine them into one somehow. And while you're at it, fix the controls on the horse level, for fuck's sake. let's try and finally realize the creator's original vision that we're all assuming was the case. We don't have evidence of it, but it just screams that this was that this game was a big beast that was screwed over by executive mandates. I would really like to see a ROM hack of these two games that combines the two. It could make for an interesting fresh take on these two games. This is a very interesting. These two games aren't really mentioned nowadays when people talk about Disney tie-in games nowadays. It's kind of obscure, which is a shame because their development history is one of the more interesting. Like specifically the whole marketing aspect of it. It is quite fascinating. The next game we're doing, on the other hand, is nowhere near as fascinating. It's Beauty and the Beast for the Super Nintendo. The next one on the list is, let's just say it's the controls. The controls are terrible, and not just for one level. They're terrible throughout the whole game. And so tune in next time for the Beauty and the Beast Super Nintendo game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.